Hello everyone and see you again. How was your day, class? I hope you had a very great day. So today is Tuesday, and if you look at the class schedule, the book that we are going to study for today, there are two books. So for the first sessions, we are going to study the speaking tutor, and in the second sessions, we are going to study the blueprint books. Right now, you are looking at the slide presentations of the speaking tutor lesson. So from the previous video lesson, we have learned some of the basics vocabulary. At the same time, I remember that you also you also listen to the conversations about the earthquakes. So in today's videos, what we are going to do? Sure. Here are the contents for today's class. First of all, we will look at the general idea of the main speaking form of the lessons, which is the cause and effects. And the second one, you are going to listen to the conversations. That conversation you have already listened from the previous class, but at least today you are going to listen for the specific information because the vocabulary we have already learned some of the difficult word already. So to listen to this conversation, it is very easy. Last but not least, after you finish listens to the conversation, there will be a question for you to answer, which means to check your comprehensions of how much you understand the conversations. So without any further ado, let's start our first point, which is cause and effects. So the question is, what is cause and what is effects? So here is a very simple definitions that I can find on the internet. So cause and effect. So let's look at the thing here. Anything that happen has two parts, the cause and the effects. So the cause is why it happens, and the effect is what happens. Okay, and some word that you can use in order to show the relation between cause and effects. We have the word so, we have the word because, we have the word sin, we have the word so that, if, reasons. All of these words show the relationship between cause and effects. Now let's look at the picture, which is the example of the cause and effects. So what is the girl doing? She is watering the flower. So watering the flower here is the cause. And what is the reason or the result of watering the flower? What is the result of her action? The flower um, can live longer. The flower can have a very beautiful flower. So these are the effects that caused by her action, which is watering the flowers. Now let's look at some other example here. Um, if you see there is raining outside, just an example, it is the cause. It is raining outside. So what are the effects of the raining? So when there's rain, what happens? What are the results caused by the raining? So the effects, you can see the rainbow after the end of the rainings, or you can see this picture which represents floodings when there are a lot of water falling down from the sky for a long period of time. So the effect of raining will be a floodings. And moreover here, as you can see, there are words which used to show the relationship between the cause, which is event, and the effects or the result. So consequently, therefore, as a result, the reason why. So all these words, when you see, or you will need this word to use in order to show the relationship between cause and effects. All right. So these are just the quick overview of the speaking form that you will learn. To get you a lot better ideas of this, you need to look at listen. Sorry, not look, but listen to conversations. And when you listen, you need to pay close attention because after your listening activity here, there will be some comprehension questions. Without any further ado, let's listen.
Dialogue, a talk with a seismologist.
Professor Gomez, it's good of you to come and talk to us about earthquakes. First of all, can you tell us exactly what a seismologist does?
Well, a seismologist is a person who studies earthquakes and the things that happen along with them, like tsunamis, for example.
Why exactly do earthquakes occur?
The answer to that is pretty simple. It is because the earth cannot be still.
What do you mean by cannot be still?
When the earth was formed, it was a huge ball of melted rock.
So why aren't we swimming in a big pool of hot melted rock?
Fortunately for us, the formation of the earth was a long time ago. By the time man came along, the outer layer, the earth's crust, had become solid.
So are we just living on a layer of cooled-off rock?
Think of it like this. If you could put a round ball of water in winter air, it would begin to freeze. The outside would freeze first. Inside would still be water. That's what happened with the earth. It's also why we have earthquakes.
Why does that cause earthquakes?
Just like the water inside the ball, the melted rock or magma in the earth is in constant motion. The magma pulls and pushes on the crust where we live, and that's how earthquakes happen.
That's pretty easy to understand. Thank you for talking to us.
The pleasure was all mine.
Okay, everyone. So this is the end of the conversation, and I hope you have a very good habit of listening, which is when you listen, make sure you take note the important information in the listenings. So now we jump straight to the comprehension check activities. So in these activities, there will be 4 questions, and all those 4 questions, you can find the answer in the listening activities. So let's start with the first question. So the first question, where are the people and what are they talking about? So here we have 2 parts. We have where and what. So where are the people? The answer here is they are in a classroom because the presenter or the speaker, the one who called the professor, which has a similar meanings to the teacher, and they are talking about the earthquakes. Let's move on to the second question. So in the second question, what is a seismologist? So you need to define the word seismologist. The quick reminder you need to notice here if the word is end with ist. For example, scientists, here seismologists. All those words refer to a people, a specialized people. So in this case, what is seismologist? So seismologists refer to a person who studies earthquakes and also what come along with the earthquakes. But now, question number 3. What is the outer layer of the earth core? As you know, we are living in the top layers of the planet Earth. So what the top layer of the planet Earth called? So the answer is the outer layer is called the Earth crust. Last but not least, question number 4, which is the last question. Why don't we live in a pool of hot melt rock? Okay, why? So the reason here is by the time men come along, so men here is also referred to women as well, but generally they use the word men to refer to all human being. Okay, so by the time man came along, the outer layer, the earth crust, had become solid. It become hard and cold. Actually, long before the man came, during the dinosaur time, the earth was already became solid at that times. So that's it for the four questions that you need to answer along with the listening activities. Right now it's time for us to end our first lesson since we already finished what we are planning to do. So what now it comes to the end of our first session, and I hope to see you again in the next sessions. Goodbye.